lovelies. Hope you're all doing well and are okay. As I said, sort of a month and a half ago, whenever, that I was all about sort of catching up with some projects that I'm way behind on, and this is one of them. So this is the MBIB, M-B-I-B, MBIB book, which is My Beautiful Images book. And this is a digital kit that I've made. I've done sort of monthly sections of these, and I'm adding them to this black spiral bound book, because I just think that sometimes some images are just too beautiful to just put in a journal, and I wanted a book that just solely had these images in. So this is set 5, and with set 5 came a series of pages to do with leaves. So this was also part of set 5. So you got these 3 pages of beautiful leaf images, and I've cut them out already. Now I just I'm falling everywhere. I just roughly cut around them, so if you can see that okay, because the sun's now shining brightly. I just roughly cut around them so that there was a little bit of a black border on them, and that's because they're going onto black paper. Now I printed them onto white paper, so I could go around and go and ink up all the outer edges, but that's going to take me forever, so I couldn't be bothered to do that. But I've pre-cut all of the leaf images out from those 3 pages, so I'm going to use these for set number 5, and then I'll talk about set number 6 in a little while. Okay, so let's get started. These pages are already pre-numbered, so I'm going to go and put them in the right place. So this first one's page 25, and what I did was I've written in pencil, which you probably won't be able to see, but I've written in pencil in the middle of each page the page number, so that they will go in the right place and in the right order. So that's number 25. Next one's 28. So that's 26, 27, and that one will be 28. So I'm going to go off and continue putting these in the right place, and then I'll be back. So I'm going to make a start on page 25, and I've just sorted my leaves out into 3 sort of piles. I've got these 2 really long borders, which are actually too long for the page, but I can chop them up accordingly. These are sort of clusters of corners or sort of half swags, so that's another little part. And then the third part that I've got are just sort of what I'm calling individual leaves, although they're not singular, but they're little sprays of different kinds of leaves. So I've made those into another pile. And what I was thinking of doing with this particular page was using this corner piece here and sticking that down on the top there, and then was it that one? Just have a look through. I think it might have been that one. I'll have a look at both. Was sort of having one going across the corner, sort of on the page, but also off it. That might be too big. Let's have a look at that one. So that one might work, but I could also have it so that it's going underneath as well. Not sure if that's the right colour. Let's have a look at this one. This one might be too big, but I could chop it down. So that's a better colour match with those. We'll see, we'll see. Let me stick these in place first. Now I've actually laminated just one side of my cards because I want to protect them from getting mucky and what have you. So I've used some matte laminating pouches. Come on, glue. Thank you. I've used matte laminating pouches so that it's just covered on the one side with the matte. So I didn't want it glossy because I don't want the light sort of shiny all over it. And so I use the matte. I'm just going to plonk that on there in the middle-ish. Okay. And then this needs a little bit more intricate gluing. Now, as I've said previously, and you'll find there is a playlist for this particular project. This is by no means finished. So even though I will have finished this page, I'll be going back at the end and just seeing if there's anything additional that I've learnt along the way or that I can think of that might be a little bit different to go and add to each of the pages. So we're doing like bit of a temporary mock-up, so to speak, and then I can go back and go and add extra bits and pieces at the end rather than trying to complete each individual page. So then that will sit on top of there. And I need to decide if I want to have a set of leaves at the bottom, which I don't think I do actually. I think I might just leave that one like that and maybe do some kind of border, maybe with my peel-offs going around that. Okay, let's move on to the next page, because as I say, there's no reason why I can't come back and revisit these. So this is the next one. So I'm just going to lie that there until I decide which array of leaves I would like to use. Again, I quite like that big one, and then if I have that going from underneath, whereas the previous one was on top. So I'm going to stick that in place first and then put that on the top. And then I can place that down there. In fact, just whilst that glue's a bit wet, I just snip in there. And then I could have that going over the top. I might actually, again, whilst this glue is still a little bit on the sticky side, should have thought of this beforehand, Carol. That can then go down on top there. So I'll go back and I'll mess with that a little bit more a little bit later on. Maybe add a bit more glue and stuff to it. But as you can see, the main bit is underneath, and then I've just chopped into some of the leaves there and here and put them on the top. This one, Again, the other thing that you need to think about is where you've got two now, so this one's already in place, is about having it so that it complements this page as well. So it doesn't want to just stand alone. It needs to work well with the other page too, as well as the colours that are within the individual picture. So there was two of those. So do I like that or not? Not. All right, have a look at something else. I quite like that. So that one's underneath and then this one's sat off to the side. Okay, let's do that. I'll just add this final leaf here right on the edge. And again, I can come back to this, and I think I would do another gold border just going around the outer edge there. Okay, next one. For this next one, because there's these two caterpillars here, one's green, one's brown. These are the leaves that I've chosen here because I think that it complements the colours of the actual image itself. So what I was thinking of was putting that down there, and then the stalk of this leaf will sit underneath, but the rest of it will come out over the top. If you can see that, okay. Slot that back under again because they're a bit curly. Stick that down so you can see it's going from underneath and curling round over the top. So I'll stick this one in place on the back of here. So about like that. And then I'm just going to use a little bit of tape to just hold that down in place. So that it won't keep moving because of it being so curly whirly. So that will sit there. And then this one I think will come from underneath again, but also sit on the top. So again, I'm just going to carefully flip that over and put some sellotape on that to hold it in place again. So that will be like that, and then this leaf can be here. Okay, happy with that. Simple, but colour-wise really effective. And where there's sort of thinner areas, to try and put a line of glue on would be quite difficult. So sometimes you just need to dot this glue. Rather than run a line of glue like I'm doing here. And then let's carefully flip that over. I'm going to have to be careful of the placement of this one because those leaves I think are going to stick out the top a little bit. No, we might be all right. Okay, and a couple of little dots of glue for these that are sat on the top. And then this one can sit on the top. Simple but really pretty, like that. And then the last one might be bold, because this is quite a bold page here. Which is the one that's going to be easier to cut down. Probably that one. Okay, so I need to do a little bit of fussy cutting out. That can go there like that. And do I want anything over the other side or corners? Right, put that one down there. Do I want it down there, or do I want it up there? Oh, up there looks quite pretty. Okay. I'm going to go off and glue these in place, because this one's going to be quite fiddly to sit and glue, and then I'll come back and show you the page. That's that page now complete. Again, I think it looks really pretty. I like the way the leaves are making them sort of come alive. Now I've got plenty of leaves left over, and I've got two options here. One is set 6, which I'll show you in a second. I could do set 6 with the remainder of the leaves, or I could look back at other pages that I've done and maybe add some leaves onto those, so it adds that extra little bit of decoration to them as well, and it starts to tie it all together. Let's have a look at set 6. So set 6, it's got this lovely iris. Now with this one, I thought about waiting while autumn and going getting some of these seed pods and maybe drying those out and adding those to the page. This is the one that I'm actually putting on my front cover. So that's the one that I'm going to use there. But there's no reason why I still can't add it to a page inside the book as well, because obviously then the sequence of numbers still carries on working. Some lovely tulips there. I haven't got a clue what that is. A flutterby and a cherry. And this one's got a frog and a snail shell on it and snowdrop. So yeah, I'm going to go and do some more work on set 5. There will be photographs at the end, but then I'm going to talk to you about set 6. So that's those pages done now. And as I say, at the end of this video, I'll add some pictures for you to have a look at, so that you can get a closer idea of what they look like when they're done. Now, month number 6. Basically, the idea is that month 5 or 3 or 1, I give you an idea of what you can do. The following month, month 6, is then to use your own imagination to go through your stash to see what you've got existing that you can already use. Okay, so for instance, I've got loads of, in fact, let me just turn that over to a blank page so that you can see. So I've got loads of stickers, so all sort of leaves and flowers. So again, if I just show you with maybe some of the stickers on, so have a look at your stickers. The other thing that you can use, I've given some of these away in the pop-up shop orders. Not given them away, but they've been included in the kits. And these are post-it notes shaped of leaves. So you could maybe stick some of those from underneath the page as well. Another idea is to look at your stencils and see what stencils you've got, and maybe use a metallic paint, maybe a gold metallic paint with them. So have a look at your stencils. Have a look also at your die cuts, so that you could use some of your dies. Both of these are Sizzix dies. They're both thinlits. This one is number 660096. And this one is number 661808, so that you could die cut some leaf shapes out. Another idea is to maybe use some leaf stamps. Stamp them out onto, you know, the whites of the tissue paper, of the paper napkins. So you could stamp on some of those and then cut them out and then stick those on, or use embossing powder. So have a look at your leaf stamps that you've got, and then well, I'm sure that most of us have got some of these leaves, the faux sort of silk leaves, and again you could add some of those so that they're protruding out, or half on half off the page, so that you could add some of those as well. So it's about looking through what you've already got, seeing what inspiration you sort of gleaned from month 5 with the pieces that you've cut out, and then going off and going and decorating the month 6 selection. And as I say, with this one, I think I'm going to see if I've got some honesty. I think that I have, and I'm going to add some honesty onto the page. So those are my next lot that I'm going to decorate up. I also forgot to mention as well, because I'm a bit of a numpty, is to have a look at books that you might have. So this one is the Illustrated Encyclopedia of Herbs, and have a look through at some of the images that are in here, or any other book that you've got, and see what you could cut out. See, that silver birch one's quite nice, isn't it? And see what images you can maybe cut out of your books to use on the pages as well. Anyway, as I say, I'm a numpty. I forgot to mention it, and so there you go. So let's finish off this video, and there'll be another video with month 7 and 8. And month 7 will have the inspiration. Month 8 is then you go off and go and do your own thing. Anyway, I hope that's given you some ideas, and that you enjoy creating your pages for month 5 and month 6. See you all again really soon. Bye for now. Don't forget to watch out for the pictures at the end. Bye.